What's up YouTube? Welcome to the channel. You find me with a much needed day off. So I thought I would use the opportunity to clean some of my trowels and show you the process that I go through. Now for those that watch our channel, you will know that I am not big when it comes to cleaning trowels. At best they probably get cleaned maybe every 4 to 6 months. It's not really something that I particularly enjoy doing. As such, you can imagine that my trowels tend to get an awful lot of scale up from dirty water that just builds up over the time. Now, the trowel that we're going to be cleaning in this video is none other than my 13-inch carbon steel Marshalltown. Now, this trowel has not been cleaned since I bought it, and I think I bought it around about December-ish time, something around that. So it's about 9 months of build up, and as you can see from the video, it is very, very caked. Now, some of you plasterers might be thinking that's absolute sacrilege. Why have you done that? Well, I'm going to be honest with you, none of my trowels are trowel princesses, as it were. They work really hard. You know, the edges of them are razor sharp, but I also don't spend every week or so soaking these in water, cleaning it. One of the reasons being is that if a plasterer turns up and their trowels look like this, I usually think that they are fairly experienced and they know what they're doing. When a plasterer turns up and their trowels are absolutely gleaming, sometimes I wonder how much use that trowel actually gets. Now that is obviously not the case all the time, but it's usually fairly obvious to see what a brand new trowel is, certainly looks like. And I always feel it's a little bit like when someone first turns up on site and you see they've got brand spanking new steel toe cap boots on. It looks like it's their first day on the job, and it just looks like they're a little bit inexperienced. I'm not saying this is the right way to look at things, but that's just from who I worked with when I was learning plastering. That's just kind of his mentality or how he viewed it, and it's always stuck with me. So I prefer having that build up. I think it tells a little bit of a story as to how experienced you are with regards to plastering. But as such, the downside to cleaning, to having a trowels like this, is that it's a lot harder to clean them. Now you will see online many say, "I'll just soak them in water on, overnight or over the weekend, and they'll be nice, amazing, and shiny by Monday." If your trowels look like mine, that will not work. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. Just to give you an idea, I once went on holiday about 2-3 years back, and I was gone for an entire month, and I soaked all of my tools in a big skim tub. It was a 100-litre skim tub, so it submerged all of them. I had the bucket around somebody's house, so they kept regularly topping it up. I came back after a month expecting everything to have fallen off. It had made no difference whatsoever. Yes, if your trowels have a lot of build up, soaking them in water makes no difference. So please, for the plasterers that keep saying to do that, it does not work. Yes, there is another method which is very well reported on, and it is particularly good for carbon steel trowels, stainless steel trowels, removing that scum, and that is to use bicarbonate of soda, and that is what we're going to use today. So let's have a look at that process. Okay, so what I've done here is I've just filled up a baking tray which is large enough to house the trowel in. So obviously we're going to use the 13-inch Marshalltown carbon steel, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to plonk the trowel into the water like so. So you can see the spine of the trowel is completely submerged, as is obviously the back of the blade, etc. Now, if you want to completely soak this trowel, including this part of the handle and what have you, what you can actually do is soak it in a Gorilla tub. However, because mine are wooden handles, I'm not going to do that. Now, what we're then going to do is we are going to use this here bicarbonate of soda. Ignore the fact that it's from Waitrose. Any bicarbonate of soda will do. If I'm being honest with you, normally I just get really cheap bicarb soda. Usually it's worth buying quite a bit. We've actually got a couple. So what we're going to do is open up the bicarb. If I can work out how to do that, there we go. So bicarbonate of soda, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carefully shake it over the trowel itself, like so. Ta-da. Let's hope that the YouTube algorithm doesn't think I'm sprinkling cocaine over my trowel. I can assure you it's bicarbonate of soda. Now just give it a little shake like that. So that is literally all you have to do. But for the benefit of the video, what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to start a stopwatch, and what we'll do is we'll check back on this every hour just to see where we're at with it. So we will catch up in about an hour or so, see how the trowel is looking. Okay, so we have come back hour and 28 minutes. So let's have a little look at how the trowel is doing. Let's just give it a little bit of a brush off. Probably shouldn't be using the sponge used for dishes, but after an hour, that's where we're looking at. So we can see that it's really starting to lift that horrible ingrained plastic. You can see on the bottom here where that bicarbonate of soda is starting to pull that horrible stuff away. So that's after an hour and a half. We are going to come back basically whenever I next remember to look at it, and we'll see what it looks like in a short while. Okay, so if you can believe it, we are actually a day later now. The long and the short of it being, I had to pop out, and could I be bothered to shoot this video at the end of the day? No, I could not. But what I can say is towards the end of the day, pretty much all of the lime scale that had built up had come off. Now what I did every hour or so was just give it a little brush with a sponge. Probably took about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, and you can see here that pretty much all of the scum is completely gone. So it took very little effort, just literally left it in. You can see I even emptied the tray of water out. So this is actually probably only about a third of the scum that was originally on the trowel. Took quite a bit longer, obviously. I'm sure you can remember my trowel was very built up with limescale. But using that bicarb, soaking it in water, has been incredibly effective in getting rid of that scum. So there you have it. Admittedly, it doesn't normally take a whole day. As I said, I couldn't really be bothered to finish the video yesterday, but we've come back to it this afternoon, and the trowel is completely clean. I was just every so often, as I already mentioned, just cleaning off some of that scum maybe every hour or so, and it took about 5 hours just to clear that huge layer of limescale that I've got built up. Now, just as a bit of a comparison, I've got here my 14-inch Nella, the kind of the baby maker trowel. This is my favorite trowel, and this one also hasn't been cleaned for a while, but you can just see here the difference that these two trowels have now. Obviously, the Marshalltown was in exactly the same position as the Nella Carbon, so it has an awful lot of build up on it. Am I going to clean this one off? No, I'm not, mainly because I can't be bothered, and it's probably holding some of those rivets on. I don't particularly recommend leaving your trowels this long before you clean them, as obviously it just takes a lot longer to keep them clean. That said, am I going to start turning into one of these plasterers that cleans them in water every 2 weeks? No. So hopefully maybe I won't leave it quite so long before I get round to cleaning it. But anyway, that's how we clean our trowels to get them back to something like what they were before. As I said, we don't personally recommend cleaning them all the time. We know that there are some plasterers out there that are trowel princesses and they like them gleaming. That's not for us personally. For us, you know, when it's got a build up like that, for us it shows that you obviously, your trowels do a lot of mileage, shows a lot of experience, and I personally think it looks cool. So we'll probably keep doing it that way and limit our cleaning to every 4 to 6 months. But anyway, we hope you've enjoyed the video. Consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks again.